part of the question that I'm going to ask Bonnie is such that, because work is blurred, parents are used to be working longer hours than they used to. And now they are actually on a 9 to 5 or 24 hours, they are at home, just like what you mentioned earlier on. And the children don't expect the parents to play with them, or perhaps even they expect the parents to not be around as well. So what do you think can be done to address this portion right now, since the parents are looking at a child nearly every day at this point?
Okay, let me share a bit about myself. Yeah, so for the first 12 years of my practice, I'm in acute, subacute mental health settings in Hong Kong and also in Singapore. So I see mainly adult mental wellness cases, and many of them suffer from mood disorders like depression, manic disorders, or just anxiety and stress. Because it's actually not easy now to have a full-time work and support a family.
Yep.
And I could foresee how this COVID is going to make people more stressed, because we need to change a lot in our daily life to adapt. And some people who are very active and used to go out every day, when you confine them in the house, their emotional health cannot be better than before, right? So even
That's
if
true.
you were just normal person, when you're under this kind of extreme situation, everything changes every day, there might be some psychological distress. What more if you are working from home and then you are also taking on the caregiver role, and then your kids are not following your instructions, or you may be even not only caring for your family, your kids, your spouse, you're also caring for elderly, or maybe people who are already living with a condition. Can you imagine how many hats you are having on your head? How much things you have to juggle? So that's a real concern. Just tell yourself that's actually normal if you feel stressed at this time. I mean, you are definitely not alone. Everybody is stressed in one way or another. So this is the time that we try to build our resilience, and we can get through it and then be stronger and better. Yeah, I have been working from home since after Chinese New Year, I would say. Yeah, because I do hear a lot about how COVID was developing in Asia countries. So I have already been starting to turn my service to virtual consultation since then.
I think it's a very important role to do right now, yeah?
Yeah, I think that is actually one of the best platforms for reaching out to people in need, and also to provide consultation on emotional regulation and mental resilience. Yeah, that is a no better time than now, because virtual consultation is such an easy and effective platform. Yeah,
that's true.
I would want to advise everyone, or just to highlight to you, that although you think it's a bad time in a way, but it also could be the best time ever. Like Mark, you mentioned that the children don't expect the parents to play with them, right? But now, can you imagine you are getting a portion of your pay, you're working from home, you have all the time you have to spend with your family right now, all the time that you thought you don't have. So that's the time that you could do something.
Okay, so from what I hear, it means that from whatever situation that we're in right now, is always to find the bright sparks of life itself, to make us always realize that there is a positive aspects, and to make sure that instead of griping over it, whining over it, it is really to figure out make the best of the situation, yeah? Okay, but I also understand that in spite of such things, that there are some who are always looking out for the positive side of the house. There will also be certain negative things that can happen, and it is indeed becoming very depressing in certain areas. For example, Straits Times also reported that there's a surge in domestic violence and abuse, as families are forced to stay at home, and perhaps previously they can not return home. They can stay away from home and only come back in the wee hours, but now they are forced to be at home all the time. So the victims are constantly in close proximity with the abusers. And the abusers can be even a spouse, for the matter. So is there a hotline or help that can be rendered to these victims?
Yeah, that's very true. Actually, domestic violence has been increasing tremendously for the past few months. because like in Singapore, we're having circuit breaker. In other countries, they're
Yes.
having a lockdown. So in fact,
Okay.
the Council of Europe, right, they reported that there is an increase in domestic violence
Okay.
against women worldwide. And then in Singapore, we have a local data. Actually, the hotline reported 33% increase in calls related to family
33%.
violence.
Ooh.
33%,
Okay.
just in February itself.
Okay.
Yeah, so they were
Wow,
comparing
that's a very high increase, huh?
Yes, I'm very worried. And I actually hear from my friends quite early in the circuit breaker that when they want to buy canes, they couldn't
Yeah.
find because it's already out of stock.
That's right.
That really scares me because if they were to buy canes, who are the victims, right? It could be young children, it could be
Yes.
spouse, likely the wife, or it could be like animals.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so my heart goes out to them. I'm really concerned. So I have
Okay.
actually worked out a list of hotline support numbers that
Yep,
people can
correct.
call.
Yeah, we can
Yeah,
actually share these hotline numbers on the chat
right.
right now as well, so that everyone can see which are some of these numbers that they can call. I think
Yep.
it is important to know that whatever it is, social support from friends, family, and even the allies is a very important, right, to bringing family or helping family violence victims come together and I think provide hope for each other as well. So hotlines like this can help them let them understand that there's something to reach out for and they don't have to suffer in silence and
Yeah,
continue being abused, right?
correct. And most of the time, they
Mm.
will be psycho to think that they were the person at fault. They were the one at fault. That's why they were being
Yep.
treated that way. But that's not true. Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I would advise whoever who is at risk of domestic violence, don't suffer in silence. And then if you are physically injured or like mentally tortured, and you think you need some medical attention or you need some P help, you can just call or walk into any nearby police station or A&E or even GP clinic. Just show your wounds and or maybe talk to the person or the police or the doctor, the GP at the clinic, the nurses, what happened, and then I'm sure they will go out to help you and bring you to a safe place.
And early on you mentioned about virtual consultations because there are sometimes you may be afraid to go out to meet the doctors or even to find help itself, and you'll be glad to know that there are actually services out down there that can allow you to meet up with the doctors without having you to leave the house. And if you're afraid, you can always make use of such virtual consultations, which later on we will get a colleague to help post up some of these links as well. Now you could log into these links, create an account so that when you share with the doctor some of these cuts and even abuses that you have, you will let them know. Okay, you will let them know that you are suffering from some of these abuses as well, without having to trigger perhaps even your abuser knowing this as well. So because if the doctor on the other end of the line sees that some of these wounds are bruises which are suspicious by nature, he or she will be able to trigger off something on their end to help you in this case as well. So virtual consultations are absolutely the way to go to assist you in such cases. Should you want to remain quiet about it but yet still need help, this is the best way to do so. And this is why when we have such services called white code that's available from our agency towards friends and people in need, there are many ways to do so. One can simply make use of such a system to take an MC, for example, but one can also make use of this system to ensure that they can help themselves without having to go to the doctor and being risk seeing and incurring the wrath of their abuser as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Now,
And
earlier on, we also spoke about the fact that you mentioned to us that you helped out in dementia patients, helping out caregivers, providing assistance and relief to them. So let's talk a little bit about such caregivers who are helping to look after patients with dementia. They're really quite stressed out currently, correct? I mean, they're all at home as well. Can you share why
I'm very
what can be done
concerned.
for
I'm
them?
very concerned. Yeah, I have been working with the Alzheimer's Disease Association for about 2 to 3 years. Yeah, so I was working in the team that helped to manage BPSDs, which are like behavioral psychological symptoms of dementia. So it's very stressful because we are seeing people with dementia who is disorientated, so they might have a day-night reversal. They might be refusing food, refusing basic personal hygiene. And can you imagine, ever since we have a circuit breaker started, all the dementia daycare centers, the specialist clinics, the specialist centers that take care of the dementia clients day in, day out from maybe 8 to 3 to 4 p.m. in the afternoon. So it's almost like a whole day. They're all closed. So where can the people living with dementia go, right? So they are going to be kept in the house, and that will break the routine that was set up. They will be more disorganized, disorientated, and it makes the caregiver even more difficult to care for them. And imagine the caregiver doesn't only take care of one person with dementia, they also have to take care of their work from home chores, their household chores, maybe take care of their spouses and children as well. So they'll be very stressed out. So I have actually opened up consultation slots for those people, 2 slots a day, to personally speak to them and to see what we can do together to make things better.
Yeah.
So if you could just share my contacts later, anyone interested can just contact me, and then we can start from there.
Correct. I also understand that perhaps there will be some groups of participants down here who want to ask us more questions as well, but there are limitations to such a time slot that we have, and I only have maybe the most is 8 minutes left. So what my colleague will do will be to send out a link for you all to check with us, if there are certain things that you'd like to know more, for us to get back to you and reach out to you as well. She'll put up this link. It's called Web Advisor Help. You can click onto it and give us some good Q&A so that we can understand more and reach out to you as well. At the same time, we will also share with you the links on how to set up an account with the virtual consultations with regard to the doctors that we are speaking about, called White Coats. This is something which we'll be offering free for all our clients and participants who have listened on board today. This is a token of appreciation towards everyone down here, because you have taken some time off from your busy schedule to have a good tea session with us today. So the consultations are available right now as about 10 free consultations. Normally they will charge about maybe $25, which is also much lesser than that of the outdoor clinic already. But as of now, it is a 10 free consultation service as well. So you don't really have to buy anything, sign up for anything, just to create an account, and you'll be able to get these benefits as well. So perhaps let me just try to summarize a little bit of what we have discussed earlier on. One in which we're talking about how parents, children being mixed together right now in the same place. What can they do? And you mentioned the best thing to do is to create structure, and that's to create a good timetable. Since children are already very used to school timetable, parents must follow this timetable as well, and to follow it so that they can all live in peace, correct? The second, we spoke about how domestic violence itself, people who are suffering from it can and must reach out, and don't feel shy about this. There are available helplines, and we have listed them down in the chat group as well. Okay, and with that, we are even given a particular consultation service whereby they can use it to help themselves, so that if they do get abused in any way, they can leverage on the fact that they're speaking to a doctor over an app, so that they can share some of this physical pains and get the appropriate help accordingly. Now, last but not least, perhaps I'd like to sum up a little bit of what Bonnie did mention earlier to me outside this conversation. She wanted us all to have these 3 key points, and that is, one, no matter what, is to be empathetic, right, towards the loved ones. Basically, at this point in time, to continue to show our love to all our loved ones, because if you're attentive to their needs and thoughts, instead of giving pure commands, this is where we help to live together in peace. Second thing is communication. In most situations itself, our emotions and our actions will respond, will decide how the other party respond as well. So it's like a mirror image. So if you wish to change the other person's behavior first, maybe we start by ourselves, so that we will not end up being too angry with them, but we get at peace with ourselves first, right? Last but not least, is to spend quality time with our loved ones on a daily basis, even if it's a stay at home already. So no matter what, if it's 7 o'clock, 7:30, 8 p.m., it's time to watch a show together, please do so. And I think it'll be great because that's where everyone has a chill out time. Even lunch, for example, can be spent eating with one another as well, right, Bonnie?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Mark,
so
I have
perhaps,
something to add. How much time do we
sure.
have? How much time do we have?
I think about maybe 3 more minutes.
Okay, 2 points to add. Okay, first of all, play is a very good way to bond with your children and your spouse. And play is a good way to improve the sense of intimacy between couples. And children are very sensitive to parents' emotions. So if you have happy parents, strong marital bonding, the children is likely to be happy and having a good grow up experience as well. So another point to note is I want to call out to people whom they know that they are abusive. So if you think you're abusive and you feel remorseful that your behaviors might be unhealthy or harmful to your loved ones, I can help. Contact me, and then we can explore the potential for positive change.
That's right. I believe we will also send out Bonnie's contact to everyone as well. So whoever hasn't seen her contact number, don't worry about that. The feedback form or the web advisor help that is being sent out there in the chat group itself, if you key in your details, you'll be able to have her contact so that you will be able to reach out to her if there's anything that you require as well. So similarly, if there's more questions on how you will want White Coat to help you, please get back to me as well. I think we are both in a current consultation and talks with each other to assist all of you also. Now, we're probably going to hold these sessions a little bit more frequently as well. The next topics that we'll discuss, we will let all of you know so that you will have a clearer indication as well as block out your schedule on what we can do the next time round. But feel free to let us know what other topics in terms of mental resilience, in terms of caregiving, stress relief that you would like us to talk about. Let us know as well so that we can cater the entire content to suit you all more appropriately also.
Yeah, I think Mark will know. I have prepared like 5 pages on content. I think we only covered like 2 pages. So let us know what else you all want to listen about or you want us to elaborate further, so then we are happy to share more.
Correct. That's right. So I think given the time that we have, limited time that we have, we would like to take a lot of all these things offline and continue conversations thereafter as well. So please feel free and don't feel shy at asking us questions thereafter in the listed URLs that have been given to you so that we can continue to speak to you all thereafter also. All right. Ken, thank you very much, and I think
thank you, everyone.
Hope that you all can have a great weekend as well. It's Saturday, Sunday soon also. In case all forgot. Okay,
yeah,
we can actually continue the chat if you all would love to in the chats itself that you can see. If there's any other things that you'd like to tell us about, kindly just text in there also. All right, thank you very much. We'll catch up with you again.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Angel. Yeah, bye.